Welcome to a new season of Hints and Theories. Welcome to a new season of V is the Mole. It is an anniversary season. What a great early Christmas gift is that? And I am so looking forward to share hints and theories with you. I hope we have some great moments watching the season. And yeah, I just hope you're just as excited as I am. One thing first, as you can see, this is a new background here. I moved and that's why all of my WIDM decoration is still hidden somewhere. So we will have to start this special season without a nice WIDM decoration, but I'm sure this will not keep us from finding any good hints and theories. One more thing before we dive right into episode number 1. There, of course, will be a new normal season of WIDM, so season 26 in the upcoming year, but it will start later than usually. So usually the WIDM season, the Dutch WIDM, usually starts in the beginning of January, like on the first Saturday of January, but this time it will start later due to the Olympic Winter Games. So don't be worried if you're trying to watch the new season in the first or second January week. It will start later. And one more interesting thing about that, at least that's the last update I had, is that it is still not sure what the Belgians are going to do, because the Dutch season will still be airing when usually the Belgian season would start. So it is not sure if the Belgian season also will start later then, or if we have like 2 seasons airing at the same time. So just let you know. Anyway, let's finally start with episode number 1 of our anniversary season. What a great cast they have put together. I really like the candidates they have chosen. Of course, there are also candidates I would have also loved to see, but still I'm really happy with that. I was super happy to see Nathan back. I just liked the season with him a lot, so I'm really happy that he's there again. And I'm also very curious what you think about the cast, about the candidates, so definitely let me know that in the comments below. And yeah, Meryl is of course also really interesting to have back because she was a really good mole. I also like that we really have a mix of older seasons in between, recent seasons. I am not so sure though about Zahil and Jure as combination, simply because they're, well, really good colleagues and friends in real life, as if we have a real small life and a real life. But still, I'm not so sure yet about that, because of course it can get a different vibe into all of it, like they're real life friends. How are they going to act in this special game? But then, yeah, of course you can see that they have a different connection compared to the other candidates. I'm not so sure if that is 100% fair for the other candidates. So I'm still unsure about that. So what do you think about that? And yeah, of course, it's always sad that one person in the anniversary season also has to leave in the first episode. I mean, it's sad anyways, but anniversary season is like a second chance to get, and then you have to leave. Of course, that's pretty sad. Anyway, Portugal, also a great location they have chosen, I think. And it's super interesting as well that we have 5 candidates and 5 old moles, because what a dynamic is this giving to the group. Like, I still wonder what would be better for the mole now, as in we had this other anniversary season 5 years ago, and there the mole was an old candidate, so he was candidate in his actual season and was the anniversary season, if I remember it correctly. And that of course gives you the opportunity that you already know how candidates act. And if I also remember it correctly, it weren't that many moles, definitely not, but not that many moles at all in that anniversary season. And now if you're a candidate, an old candidate, who suddenly has become a mole, and now you have 5 old moles against you, I imagine that is pretty hard. But then at the same time, those 5 old moles who are now candidates are so super busy with trying to act as kind of moles, but then at the same time won't have to think about how to act as a candidate because you want to be in the game, and they suddenly have to remember all the things and have to write them down and have to pass the test, and it's not a fake test for them anymore. So I can imagine that they are pretty busy with themselves and have to, well, sort out all the things in the beginning especially. But then again, yeah, 5 experienced moles against you seems like quite a hard task. Or would you like to be an old mole who is now again a mole and then has 5 old moles against him and 5 candidates with experience? Yeah, of course, as always, it all has advantages and disadvantages, but I really think that's cool to think about, like, what would I prefer, what would be interesting for the game, and oh my god, how does this person feel? Okay, now let's finally have a look at task number 1. In this task, of course, we did have the separation here in old moles and old candidates, but of course the others did not know at this point, but still. And I think we have to have a look first at the old mole group, because there happened a few weird things. First of all, we had Jurre, who could not remember how high the pot in his season was, and that was really strange because, first of all, his season was like 2 years ago, so 1 year ago. I can't even remember it correctly, but still you would think that he knows how high the pot was in his season. I mean, you do not have to know it super exactly, but still roundabout. And yeah, speaking about the pots, of course, this little game failed, and I have some information for you how it actually would have been correctly and how high the pots actually were. So Kim was the one with the highest pot in her season, so around about 22,000 euro. Then Dennis with 20,300 euro, Annemarie 12,600, then Jurre with 11,600, and Merel with around about 10,000 euro. So what went wrong here was that Annemarie and Jurre actually had to change their positions. And then one more thing, what was a bit weird with Jurre in this task was that when they had to sort the moles, he one time, if I remember it correctly, tried to mole there, saying Miljushka was at another point, and then he also corrected something actually, because he said everyone was the mole before him, which is correct. But then again, that did not make any change because they only needed the moles with the green things to be correct, and in this case this was not one. So yeah, he corrected it, and that's good, but still it did not help them with the code they needed. Then one more interesting thing, which could maybe be a hidden hint in this task, was the whole thing with the box there, in which Jurre then lied to check the code. That remembered a lot of fans of Dennis' season, because if I remember it correctly, it was the last task in Dennis' season, or at least it was part of the final. And then back then he had to lie in a box like that, and they were like throwing sand or little stones on it, and he had to solve a task there with the help of the 2 finalists. So yeah, that could maybe be a hidden hint to Dennis. But still, I think we have a lot of things we will see coming back in this anniversary season, which of course also makes it so much fun to just see things coming back. Like somebody also mentioned that there were birds flying around, which also was a hint to Merel and her season. So yeah, I think we will see a lot of those hints to all the season, which is great and fun because it reminds you of back then, but still makes searching the mole maybe a little bit harder this time. Another possible hidden hint that was spotted was the color of those tons they had standing there in this little arena, let's call it like that, because they were colored in green, white and green, which is the flag of Rotterdam, or could be a hint to the flag of Rotterdam. And we have 2 candidates who have a connection to Rotterdam, and that are Richard and Nathan. If I'm correct, then Nathan was born there and Richard lives there at the moment. So could also be a little hint to one of those two persons. In the other group, of course, it was pretty weird, suspicious that Nathan could not remember the boxes they had to get, which they had of course agreed on with the others, like we will get those two and you guys get those other three. And Nathan then tried to confuse Sahil. At least that's the interpretation we will have to assume. Maybe he actually was kind of confused, but it could also be a mole action from Nathan. And then of course it was weird that they were super early in the end at the place where they had to meet Rick. 30 minutes early is such a long time. I do get that they did not really know how much time they had left, but still 13 minutes is quite a lot, so they really could have gotten the last suitcase. And Richard was the one here who was a bit pushy to like, we need to go to Rick, so maybe it makes Richard a little bit more suspicious here. And let's also have a quick look at task number 2, which was a great idea, I think. I mean, the location was awesome, but then the idea to get like 9 old winners to be part of the game as well again, to just have some more faces coming back. I'm really curious to find out if they have more things like that throughout the season, throughout the anniversary season. But this was really a cool start, a cool idea for episode number 1 especially. And yeah, also the idea that they maybe have like the ability to figure out who's the most just in one interview, let's call it like that, they did there, and to debate about it. In the end they came up with Nathan, which is a quite interesting choice, I think, just as the other candidates also thought. But I really like the idea that Nathan said he can't lie, but he can keep secrets. And this is an interpretation, I think, which is really interesting, because yeah, of course, you can also see it like that. I'm not lying that I'm the mole, I just keep the secret that I'm the mole, and I do all the things it needs to keep that secret. But yeah, I just really like the idea also with in the back of my mind that his son is doing this also sort of hints and theories program for children on Dutch television, which is awesome, by the way, and really fun to watch. But yeah, just the idea that he has to keep it a secret at home as well, because he has a little son searching for the mole back home, it's such a great idea, really. I really liked it. Anyway, I thought that there were some interesting reactions also in the videos, like we had Nathan, who actually did not spoil that he already knew about Portugal. And then I was super surprised that so many of them did say that they already knew it, that they kind of first promised to the girl there that they would not tell anyone that they already knew, and then did it. So I was like, that's not actually fair. Dennis was also really interesting. Also that Edo mentioned that he, did not dare to look at Edo. That was pretty suspicious, I think. And then there was, of course, the reaction of Luz when she got to know that they went to Portugal. She was super excited and super surprised that somebody told her about it. That was maybe a bit too much, so would actually put her lower on my mole list. And I actually also have not really gotten a mole vibe yet from Merel in this task. But then again, I know that Merel was really good as mole, so it's all a bit of a blur still, but that, of course, is what it is supposed to be in season 1. And yeah, so many faces we have to watch and so many things we have to keep in mind, so yeah, it starts again. Anyway, the end, of course, was super interesting as well with Nathan, who has now kind of a special task, I assume. We will get to know that in the upcoming episode. So much about episode number 1. I know that there is so much more in there, that there were more things in task 1 and surely more interesting reactions in task number 2. This is just my short recap for you after watching it for the first time. I am super interested in what you think about all of this anniversary season, about all the things you've seen, about the candidates, about everything. Tell me everything in the comments below. I am so excited. to read them, and that we're back and that we're going through the pre-Christmas season together here. So we will definitely have some exciting weeks coming up. So let's all enjoy this upcoming November and December. And I hope you're on this crazy ride with me again, and that we will see each other again in the next video. Until then. Oh, and by the way, do not forget to subscribe if you have not done that yet. Bye!